You've got Palmer Thoms on the line talking up the Georgia Bulldogs, of course, with the Dogs in spring practice. Looking at the rest of the team and what's been accomplished thus far, it's only been 3 or 4 practices, but there's been talk from Kirby Smart. And this is typically the talk for most college football teams. It's your time to experiment. Maybe we've got a really talented kid, but he's stacked behind 4 other players at that position. Why don't we try him here or try him there? You've got a couple examples of that.
Yeah, and especially on the defensive side of the ball where Georgia is replacing so much. You go watch the pro day from last Wednesday, and it was all defensive guys with the exception of, with the exception of a couple offensive linemen, and Trey McKitty was there as well. He didn't participate, but he's gone from the tight end room. But, majority of the losses that you saw on the offensive side of the ball were, on the line rather than skill positions. Whereas you look at defense and you've got guys, that were playing big roles for Georgia last year. Those spots need to be filled. And, in order to do so, you gotta experiment some. So I think, the names that I mentioned to you were Adam Anderson and Lavassier Carroll. I'll start with Anderson because he's more established in the role that he's had. He's been a great pass rusher for Georgia the last couple of seasons. Has really played in that outside linebacker role well for the Bulldogs, and is expected to take on a bigger role in doing so this year because, you look at the guys that they lose Jermaine Johnson and Azeez Ojulari at that position. Georgia's going to be counting on Dan Lanning, defensive coordinator, outside linebackers coach as well, is going to be counting on guys like Adam Anderson and Nolan Smith to, step up and take bigger roles. But the interesting part about what we've heard about Adam Anderson so far is that Kirby Smart told us he's been practicing at star. And for those that don't necessarily know, the star position in Georgia's defense is essentially a 5th defensive back. And, they use it really heavily in, passing situations, third down situations, where they want to have more defensive backs on the field. But typically that star is on the field for first and second down, just playing more of a run support role. Well, in the past, it's been more of a defensive back kind of guy. The last 2 years, it's been Tyreek Stevenson and Mark Webb, who are more safety cornerback type guys. Well, Adam Anderson is outside linebacker, and he's been playing, practicing at star. It's something that Kirby Smart said they probably wouldn't be doing if they had a game coming up. But like we said, spring practice is all about experimenting and, getting him those reps, dropping back into pass coverage. They know what he can do in run support. And because that star position, has to take on responsibility in run support and pass protection, that's something that they're very, looking into very heavily.